NFL Power Rankings. So, believe it or not.
Mine didn't really change, to be honest.
Yours didn't change too much?
Not really.
But I changed mine, and I don't know. Like I said, I'm not really. Don't know if I'm a fan of how I did it. So I snuck Seattle back in at number 10. Big win on the road against Chicago. Now 7-5. Actually, believe it or not, pushing San Francisco for the division, and based on tiebreakers, actually would have to have a worse record than pretty much every other team fighting for the wild card spot. They could have the same record and be able to take, and not to mention this team has beaten the Patriots, the Packers, which they shouldn't have won that game. We all know that, but when it's all said and done, they got a dub for it. And then they go to Soldier Field and beat the Chicago Bears in overtime. That really, really impressed me. So I put them back in at the number 10. Last week I had Cincinnati. They struggled to beat San Diego. I really considered Washington, but if you consider their 3 wins in a row, I do understand that they're division rivals, but Philly's dead in the water. They picked on the Cowboys, which was a good game by them. They earned it. So the Redskins would be my honorable mention at 10. So, who you got at 10?
At 10?
At 10.
At 10, I'm going with a team I still think's a playoff team in the Steelers. I'm telling you, my power rankings this week really didn't change a whole lot. I still like, even though they lost this week, or no, the Steelers won. I'm sorry, they won this week, but I just think that I didn't want to move them up. I don't think they're better than the teams I have ahead of them. Steelers where it's at.
Steelers at 10? Okay. This is one of the reasons I don't like it, because they only lost by 1 point last night, and I don't think I did this. I got the Giants at 9.
Yeah, that's where I have them too.
Is it really? I had a hard time doing it, though, because I'm like, they look so good against Green Bay.
I mean, really, I should say with the Steelers, I mean, just to go back to number 10 real quick, it really was between them and the Colts. And being the fact that they won this week without Big Ben was the reason I put them at 10.
Which you said they had no chance to do, by the way. I meant to bring that up yesterday.
They couldn't win without Big Ben?
Because one of the questions I asked you is, how does Pittsburgh win this game? And you punted it out the door because you said Pittsburgh won't win this game.
Yeah,
but
I didn't think they would beat Baltimore.
It was a lot more fun of an idea yesterday than trying to throw that in the middle of our power rankings. I knocked Chicago back to 8. 8, and I don't know. Yeah, like I said, not very confident in this week's power rankings. Knocked Chicago back to 8.
Yeah. I actually, at 8, I actually have Bears too.
Do you? We're gonna end up very similar, aren't we?
We're gonna end up pretty similar.
All right. Well, you say yes or no, and if it's a no, then you give us who, and then that way we can fly through this and maybe hit one more topic before we wrap up the day. 7, I got Green Bay.
7, I actually had the Broncos.
Okay. You know me. I've been very high with Denver compared to you, though. Yeah. Denver's the one team that I keep putting higher than you do. San Fran, I put at 6. Losing to St. Louis bothered me. It seems like there's some type of.
Who'd you have at 8?
I have Chicago at 8, Green Bay 7, and San Fran at 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I did San Fran at 6. Like I said, losing to St. Louis bothered me. But to me, what bothers me the most is the fact that it seems that there is a little bit of turmoil going on in San Francisco with the whole quarterback thing. It seems like some players want Smith, some players want Kaepernick, and that's never a good thing.
Kaepernick's starting next week, though.
Yes, he is.
I actually have, not to agree with you again, but I got him in the same spot.
Okay, so you got San Fran at 6. It's just St. Louis. I just feel like that's a game they tied with.
Should have had.
They tie with them and they lose with them. That bothers me.
It bothers everybody.
You know, I understand it's a division rival, but
who you got at 5 though?
At number 5, I got B Moore. I couldn't move him out of the top 5, but losing to a Big Ben-less Pittsburgh and losing in Baltimore, a stadium where they're averaging 36 a game at home right now.
Yeah, I got the same.
Yeah, I didn't like that. This number 4 is where I put the Denver Broncos. I bumped them up. They're on a 7-game win streak. They won the AFC West, and they just dominated a hot Tampa Bay Buccaneers team.
That's actually where I have Green Bay, believe it or not.
Okay. You got them high, huh?
I got them a little higher. I think this is a time of year They're going to start catching fire.
Yeah,
they got Greg Jennings back. Their offense is starting to click some more.
I believe Woodson's due to return either this week or next week.
And what about,
Matthews is the same either this week or next week. That's actually why I put Green Bay back at 7, was the injuries. You can see a difference in that defense with no Woodson and no Clay Matthews.
So we got
no question
3.
about it. At number 3, which I was very hesitant with doing this, is the New England Patriots.
Yeah, that's where I got them too.
I didn't want to do it mainly because I just don't like New England. But you know what? They're playing good football, and like we talked about earlier in the year, they're running the ball.
Oh, no, that's not where I had them. I'm sorry. I had the... Oh, yeah, I did. Never mind.
So, yeah, I got Denver at 4, New England at 3.
Yeah. I got New England at 3 as well, and then I got the Texans at 2 and the Falcons at 1.
See, I actually swapped them this week. I actually moved Houston up to 1 and bumped Atlanta back to 2, even though they beat New Orleans on Thursday.
That's why I kept them at 1.
I looked at the actually, you know what? I'm going to just... I'll give you my exact reasoning for why I did it. Houston 1 and Atlanta 2. All right, point differential on the year. Houston is plus 130. Atlanta, point differential on the year, plus 88. So almost an entire 42-point difference. What's that, 2 games? Just say, give or take, maybe 1 game, 2 games, 3 if you have 3 bad games. That's a big difference to me. Atlanta scored 317 points. Houston scored 351. So this Atlanta offense that everybody loves, Houston's actually scored more points than them. Houston's given up 221 points compared to Atlanta's 229. So that's what I mean. They have Houston has a better defense in points against, and they've actually scored more points than this Atlanta offense. Hence why I actually put Houston ahead of Atlanta